All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, Danny Garcia gives a message to Gervonta Davis that applies to his rematch coming up with Lamont Roach, as he warns Teofimo Lopez about Jaron Boots Ennis. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135 to 40 pound weight division, as one of my favorite Puerto Rican fighters of all time, Danny Swift Garcia, gave an interview in which he shared some wisdom that is related to Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach, but he says it specifically about Teofimo Lopez and Jaron Ennis. But before I get into the details, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you guys so much for your continued support. It really makes a big difference to the channel. And thank you to everybody that supports in the super thanks of videos like this. It's a little $sign by the comment where you can leave comments. It's just a terrific way to help content creators continue to do what you like, give you the content that you enjoy consuming. But let's get into this. Danny Garcia gave an interview. He's given an interview on Fight Hype. And in this interview, he said something that I had been believing was the case with fighters for a very, very long time, and something that really does separate the great fighters from the not so great fighters. And what it was specifically is that Danny Garcia was saying, look, when a fighter peaks, when he's gotten as good as he can get, after a bit of time, people who've been watching you fight start to understand what you're bringing to the table. They understand your rhythm. They understand your approach. They understand your tactics, and the trainers will come much more prepared for you as time goes on. One great example of this, I always harken back to Muhammad Ali examples because I really did pay attention to his entire career, was in the early 1970s when he was fighting against a trainer named Eddie Futch. Eddie Futch had both Joe Frazier and Ken Norton, right? So Eddie Futch had fought against Muhammad Ali on several occasions and got to the point where he knew exactly what Ali was going to do, when he was going to do it, how he was going to do it, and he could help Ken Norton and Joe Frazier time Ali. And one of the specific things that he did, because Ali's hands were so fast, what Eddie Futch said to Ken Norton was, look, when you see his chest muscle flex, that's when the punch is coming. You have to react to his chest muscle. You can't wait for the punch, because if you see the punch coming, it's too late, right? So what did that do? That helped Ken Norton time Muhammad Ali and made Muhammad Ali a much more difficult fight for Muhammad Ali than if Eddie Futch had not already seen Muhammad Ali through other fighters on multiple occasions. So what Danny Garcia is saying is it really works. And it's something that's Gervonta Davis, guys like Gervonta Davis, guys like Terrence Crawford have to worry about, because again, and that's why I believe you start seeing a lot of people doing a lot of tailor-made matchmaking later on in their career, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to have the fight, but they're trying to have the fight against somebody that doesn't have the tools to adjust to the things that they're doing, which is why you hear Canelo Alvarez say that he doesn't like fighting guys like William Skull. Well, if this is the truth, and I do believe it's the truth, without a doubt, I believe that that's the truth. That's why that fight with Lamont Roach and Gervonta Davis was so hard and why it's going to be hard for Gervonta Davis the next time, unless Gervonta Davis really switches things up and shows you whether or not he's actually peaked or not. And if it winds up being a second difficult fight, then hey man, that style of fight is going to wind up being difficult for Gervonta Davis moving forward. Teofimo Lopez, who was also subject matter to this conversation, is somebody that really has to worry about that, because he is somebody that always fights to the level of his competition and has constantly been in fights with guys where they're fighting right at the level of Teofimo. And why is that? Because people know that the book is out on Teofimo Lopez as well, how Teofimo Lopez likes to fight. Same type of situation that Devin Haney is going to find himself in, that Ryan Garcia found himself in with Rolly, because Ryan definitely knew exactly what Rolly was going to do when he came into that fight. So, man, I just thought that was such a keen observation from Danny Garcia that is something we should take into consideration when we look at other fights. It also, in a very, very closely connected scenario, it also relates to people that know people in sparring, that have been sparring partners for people that have fought people in the amateurs. Again, Ryan Garcia and Devin seeing each other in the amateurs that many times. There was another example of it back in the day where Shane Mosley, who was one of my favorite fighters, lost to Vernon Forrest, the Viper, because he had also had a lot of difficulties with Vernon Forrest in the amateurs. So just all around, man, that type of competition, I think, is a really very, very good thing for boxing. But again, so that you don't ruin your career, you have to be very, very careful about how you go about, the people that you fight and how you approach your fights as you get further along in your career. And to be aiming at Jaron Ennis after having had difficulties with Arnold Barboza, after having had the difficulties with Kambosos and Jermaine Ortiz. Look, it just doesn't bode well, and more than likely what's going to happen is that Bozianis is going to know just what to do to this guy before he gets into the ring, because he's already so familiar with his style. I just think that this is a fight for Teofimo Lopez, where Teofimo Lopez is more than likely going to get beat half to death. But again, I love the observation on the part of Danny Garcia, because it's something that I've always felt like, for example, that you're always going to have in basketball. There's certain teams that are just matched up very well with you. They've got a good two guard. When you have a good two guard, they can, have centers that can affect your centers. And they know how to go about and play that particular style that you play, because you see each other so much. And I think that is dripping into boxing a good amount. Matchmaking, man. Matchmaking. But Gervonta, I'm confident that he is not peaked, and I'm looking forward to seeing, an excellent fight out of him in his next fight, because I just think he was a little bit distracted. But Teo, I think the book is out on Teo. I really do. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.